What's up, everybody? Welcome out to Death Battle Cast. Another fun episode for SKELETOBER!
There you go.
Thank you.
Look at that.
We've got thunder cracks now and evil laughter. Thanks, Mike. Always plussing up our SKELETOBER.
As well as the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
We have fun here. Especially things get a little crazier when Ben's not here because Ben's not feeling well today. So unfortunately, he will not be on the episode. So instead, I'm hosting, and I am joined by Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm fake Ben today.
Oh.
And just for the audience's awareness, Ben was going to be talking about the Nazgul because he knows a lot about Lord of the Rings. And I do not, but I am still talking about them. So apologies in advance for offending you Lord of the Rings people.
And Sam thought I was arguing for them, so no one reached out to me to cover it. So I found out about 5 minutes ago. So anyway, it's going to be an interesting episode. But joining us, as always, is the incredibly talented Liam Swan.
Which is extra funny because I was Hooskowed into doing the Wild Hunt. I know nothing about them, but I do know a significant amount about the Nazgul.
We're both ignorant.
So it's a great thing. It's a great combination here this week. Hey, everybody.
But my favorite person on the podcast today, our very special guest, the incredibly funny and talented Kerry Shawcross. Kerry Shawcross.
You don't even know my name.
I had a lot of spit in my mouth, and it made me fuck up your last name. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What's the quality on this cloak?
Amazon Quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did that keep the cold off you when you were hiking?
It actually did help a lot, and this is the exact one that I wore in New Zealand.
All right.
It still smells very bad.
Carrie, tell them about it. Tell them about what's going on, because they probably don't know.
In on this.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah. Well, early plug. Hey, my name is Kerry Shawcross, and one of the things I do here is I walk in New Zealand. We have a series out right now. Final episode's out Thursday, actually. It's a simple walk 2, where we walked from the set of Hobbiton to this time the Lonely Mountain to prove that you can't actually walk there. So it was the real Hobbiton set to the mountain that they used for the Lonely Mountain. We walked well, you'll see if we made it. No spoilers, but it's 150, 160 miles. And we did that maybe in 8 to 10 days.
The promo
we actually did it.
Really cracked me up because y'all did Simple Walk to Mordor way back
10 years ago.
Yeah, where they walked from, it was Hobbiton to Mordor, right?
Yeah. So that was to Mount Doom.
Yeah. And so
that's dope.
But this one is like they're doing it again, but they're older now.
Yeah, that was basically At first it was like, we'll just do it again and be older, and then we're like, no, we should be older and walk more.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that, like 20 hours, or 20 miles a day?
Oh yeah, almost every day we walked more than 20 miles. Yeah, except for the first day because it was like through a bunch of farmlands and Chris got stuck in cow shit.
Yeah. So here's the deal: you guys can watch it for free. You can go to the Rooster Teeth website or open the Rooster Teeth app. Go check it out. Also, it really supports us a lot more if you watch it over there. So yeah, you can watch all the episodes there. It's wrapping up pretty soon. It's very, very fun. And then if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, they have a whole companion podcast where they're talking about their experiences. And that is if you're a first member. So anybody who's a Death Battle member that also has a first membership, you can go watch all that. So yeah, go check it out.
Here's talk for an hour, half an hour a day about walking and our pains and our butt.
Way to sell the podcast.
It's funny though. Like all of that, but good.
Walking is so funny if you really think about it. Like, what do you?
It's hilarious.
Doing it. You're just like.
I tell a story about.
The next.
I'll tell you now. Here's a spoiler for tomorrow or Thursday's podcast. I tell a story about how I got caught wiping on the side of the road.
Oh no!
So there's your clickbait. Go.
Caught brown-handed.
It was so close. It was bad. It was not good. It was a matter of seconds.
Oh wow!
Saved my dignity.
That's rough.
am so jealous. So I didn't know, like I'd heard we were doing like, because this originally was part of like the talks of like the 20th anniversary programming that we were doing. And I didn't know you guys were redoing it until you and I were in a meeting or something. And then you were like, yeah, no, I gotta get on a plane like tomorrow because I'm going to New Zealand. And I was like, wait, what? And then you're like, oh yeah, we're doing Simple Walk again. And I was like, dude, like if there was like anything of like the history of Rooster Teeth, like, man, I wish I was a part of that. I would have loved to do that because I'm such a huge fantasy nerd. I would have tried if I knew this was happening. I would have tried everything in my power to like join you guys.
It's one of those things where it's like I cannot recommend it enough, and also I cannot recommend it literally enough. Because it was like one of the most painful experiences of my life. But it was fun, and you can watch us suffer. That's the best part.
Yeah.
I guess also technically, I do need to also say that the second Ruby Justice League crossover movie came out today as well. I can't not promote that.
Yeah,
also.
that's fair.
But we can save that for later. We can save that for. I don't want to.
Yeah,
like,
we got to make a Justice League movie. How crazy is that?
I know. We made 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm also excited to talk about this stuff. And I'm going to wear this cloak until the stink consumes me.
Yeah, I imagine after all that, it can't be great, right?
Oh, it's 5 or 6 washes, and it's still
gross.
There's a funk in the air.
Right.
Gingerex, thanks for gifting out 5 memberships. If you guys just got gifted membership, check out all of our membership content and go sign up for our Discord. It's a good time.
Yeah, Liam.
Yeah,
go for it.
I was just gonna do a little bit. This is just a tiny bit, but Mike, could you bring me up like big on the big screen for a second? Because I've just been noticing this, and I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know why I have such soft lighting in my room today.
It's beautiful.
I look like someone's dead wife. You know, like.
Legitimately, is there a smudge on your camera lens?
and to lay like that and look wistfully.
Can you be great, like grayscale?
Yeah, right.
You do appear to be. It might be a smudge.
Don't use your finger,
you
monster.
Think your oily
that's probably how you got the smudges.
Yeah.
Well, there. You know.
You need like a microphone. Stop using your finger.
Chad,
I also think
2 wrongs make a right. That's basic
because
math.
you can see the light diffuse up from the bottle cap that's like under your neck. You can see it's like has a light shadow, so it is something about like refracted or reflected light to some extent. But
we're doing a great job on this podcast.
I did want to completely derail even more because I had a question the other day. I was sitting around, and Liam, maybe you can help. Batman's infamous butler, Alfred Pennyworth, right?
Yeah. Infamous, but
what do you think his salary is?
That's a good question, actually. I mean,
I was just sitting around and I was like, how much does he pay this man? Like, it's gotta be 6 figures.
He's got free room and board.
He's got free room and board,
free meals,
Wayne Mansion. He probably has like
0 days off.
A large part of his salary is probably like having access to all of Bruce Wayne's resources, like as much as he wants. He's basically a family.
Does he have
member.
Hobbies?
But yeah, he's not using the resources for anything that he cares about. Like we know nothing about Alfred Pennyworth's personal desires.
He cares
we probably
about
know a shitload about it. We just haven't looked at the like obscure comic from 1987 that's like Alfred's Day Out, and it goes into like all of the stuff that he did. But we know that he was a war veteran. We know that he was a stage actor.
Okay. Is it like video games?
Yeah, he plays Fortnite. He actually created Fortnite. He was one of the creators.
Wow. With all of the things that he has.
It's Alfred
this makes sense.
Bobby Kotick out there.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, because you know Batman's got a 4090.
Do you have an answer to this, Sam? Do you know his salary?
No. I was just super curious if Liam had any insight into it because it
Sam
was just something I was pondering. Trying to not talk about the Nazgul, yeah, pretty much.
Dude, Alfred's definitely in the will, so like he's good.
Of course.
Like, okay, yeah, but I guess it is Batman. He probably is likely to die any day, but
he's probably in the will when the Waynes died too. Anyway, all right.
No, but I'm just saying Alfred's probably dying before Bruce, so I don't know if being in the will.
I don't know.
Important.
Probably. Batman has definitely died. Well, no, actually, Alfred did die in like the 60s. He did die in the 60s, and then they brought him back because it was unpopular that he died because they killed him to. It was part of a shift. Sorry, we're getting off track.
It was part of a shift. Doing this.
We have to be on track to get off track.
Sam doesn't want to debate for the Nazgul, so he's trying to burn as much fucking time as possible.
In the 50s, Batman comics, in order to like boost their popularity, the writers made them. The editorial staff just made it Superman, so that's why he got a Bat family. And in order to shift away from that in the 60s, ironically or unsurprisingly, maybe to a lot of people, the 60s campy Batman show was based off of and fed into a more grounded, realistic take on Batman, because Batman in the 50s was like him fighting aliens and robots and shit. So this was technically more realistic, him fighting like his usual villains. but as part of the effort to like shift away from that kind of like we're just copying Superman stuff, they wanted to get rid of Alfred because he was part of the like Bat family that's like, not very Batmanish. That's also why they had Robin leave. So they killed Alfred, but then they brought him back because people really didn't like that. They liked.
Yeah.
So Silver the Hedgehog, Silver the Based Hog says, the internet says his salary is 1.51 million a year. Yo, I would buddle for that, man.
Yeah, I'd buddle for half that.
Exactly.
I would buddle for much less than that. But would you buddle Batman? Would you bat buddle?
I mean, maybe not bat buddle, but I'd buddle for a tenth of that. That's more than twice of what I make now. That sounds great.
Subcontract my buddling with that money.
Yeah. But have you seen Downton Abbey? Buddling is very stressful, especially if you have somebody that knows what they're doing.
I would argue for Bruce, it would be great.
Yeah,
because he seems chill, and I mean, as long as you know how to address a wound, I guess.
Yeah,
well, I mean, he seems chill to Alfred.
Yeah, but also like Alfred, like is like, oh, I fixed the Batmobile last night. Like, are you gonna be able to like secretly fix a secret?
Would you rather
weapon,
do that
like,
or deal with like 3 shitty teenagers?
Oh yeah, no. If it
Yeah.
was like Bruce Wayne or a Kardashian, I'd way rather fucking buddle for Bruce.
Same.
But
yeah,
Jaeger,
I
thanks
would
for the
sub
membership.
I would sub buddle underneath Alfred. I would take care of Alfred's regular buddling activities and let him do the like, oh, I have to make sure that Batman isn't fucking squashed and eaten by Darkseid.
Right.
But
and then you'll just take care of the Dino Nuggies.
yeah,
exactly.
You're gonna have to
whichever
get a
one's
lot of
fed.
blood out of a lot of stuff.
All the tendies I
right.
want.
Hey, the chat's getting tired.
Okay.
On to the episode.
All I see is positive comments.
I'm actually looking.
I've seen a couple.
I'm
all right,
looking
so look.
at the current views and viewers, and we're on the up to the right, Chad. So I think you're a fucking liar. But that's all I gotta say.
Well, I think it's time for me to take the reins. I don't like
go
that
for it.
I'm not in the host position. It's giving Sam too much power.
I just
All
wanted
right.
to know a question.
There we go. Thank
There.
you, Mike. Look, we are here to actually debate a matchup because that's what we do on this show sometimes. And by that, I mean every time. So today we are debating in honor of Kerry being here and the Simple Walk 2. It will be the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings versus the Wild
Alfred.
Hunt from The Witcher. Not Alfred, unfortunately.
Sweet.
I think we've done Alfred before too. He's got a Superman pill. He gets pretty wild.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Yeah.
In Injustice, yeah, he gets a Superman pill.
Yeah.
Justice.
Yeah, so Sam's going to be arguing for the Nazgul. Be kind to
Trying.
him because Ben was supposed to do that. And Liam will be
I'm not gonna be
arguing
nice to
for
him. Fuck
the Wild Hunt. As always, it's not just us. You guys can participate as well. We'd love to see you dropping some stuff in the chat. I know Sam's going to be real appreciative if you'd be dropping some Nazgul knowledge in the chat for him. And then we'll have our community vote. Carrie and I will get a vote, and you guys, of course, as always, will get to vote live. Which again, we do the show live 3 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. So if you guys watch the VOD, you want to come hang out, we'd love to hear from you. And you might get gifted a membership because y'all are crazy. Y'all keep throwing them out there.
Also,
5 people already did.
Yeah, 6.
like every week, we're gonna talk about the tournament champions.
Welcome to the Tournament
Can't
of
sneak it past
Champions!
me. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Just FYI too. That's on the agenda. But Liam, would you like me to start, or would you like to start?
I'll start.
Okay, cool. Let me read while you talk.
Yeah. So I think the crux of my argument, aside from the Wild Hunt and their powers and all that stuff, I think the crux of my argument is going to be that right before we started this call, we were talking about Lord of the Rings lore, and Sam made the proposition.
Oh, you're gonna do this.
We were talking about characters, and he misnamed the character that kills the Witch King of Angmar as Galadriel, and both Chad and I went, "Oh, it's not Galadriel, it's not Galadriel," because we're nerds. And then Sam made the proposition that Galadriel's only contribution to the Lord of the Rings story was, as part of the plot, was her ethereal beauty. And we thought it was like a bit, and we were like, no, Galadriel is like a walking elf nuke. She's been around for thousands of years, has commanded armies, fought Sauron, and he was like, yeah, but her main part of the plot is that she's hot.
She inspires people by her attractiveness.
It inspires people by her beauty, and it was so infuriating because he wouldn't give it up, that I wanted to bring it up to you guys, because I know people are going to go apeshit thinking that Galadriel's only purpose is that she's hot. Vote for me because vote against Sam.
But it is like
stupid shit.
Here he goes.
She doesn't actually. I'm not saying she can't handle almost all of this just by herself. Clearly, she's very powerful. I'm just saying her main attributions to what happens in the Lord of the Rings is inspiring people because she's hella hot.
The reason, okay, first of all, the reason that she can't do all of this by herself is because she's too powerful. Because if she was given the one ring, it would corrupt her. And giving it to like her or somebody like Gandalf would end the fucking world because they're way too strong. You need to give it to like exactly. You need to give it to like a fucking little nerd boy like Frodo, because he's the perfect candidate for it because he's small. And no, like her purpose, like in the literal plot of just the Fellowship of the Ring, is as a mentor. She gives them gifts that they use on their journey, and I mean, her beauty isn't what inspires them. She inspires
the gift that Gimli is given is just 2 strands of her hair.
He asks for it. That's not like her purpose. He's
Gimli
just like, can I get a little piece of hair?
This is weird as fuck.
It was nice. We are living. The Lord of the Rings is a world that has not been infected by our fucking disgusting like. Bjork's stalker does not exist in the Lord of the Rings world. It's much more innocent, like different kind of like morality there.
Just a common innocent hair gift.
It's just a common innocent hair gift. We're just innocent men.
Even when I tried to get this on the rails, you threw it off immediately. I can't.
Do you want to tell us anything actually about the Wild Hunt?
Yeah, because Hubert says nearly 20 minutes in, and I still have no idea what is a wild hunt.
Well, here,
so what is
can I ask a question about the Wild Hunt real quick, just to like really, because this is what I've never played the Witcher games, but this is just what I know so far. That's the card game, right?
Oh, that's Gwent.
What? No, it's Gwent.
Gwent is the card game. Yeah.
Okay.
My
question has been answered.
The Wild Hunt is the subtitle to The Witcher 3. And what the Wild Hunt is, it's actually taken from real life Norse mythology, where it's like the gods go out on a night and they hunt something. Odin is part of the Wild Hunt. But in the universe of The Witcher, they're like kind of a folk tale, like a lot of stuff in The Witcher, where they see them galloping across the night and they're like, what are they doing? But in reality, they are elves from like a different dimension that, and feel free to correct me because I'm new to a lot of this lore myself. They were tasked to leave different to go into different dimensions to capture people like humanoids and use them as slaves for like their elf kingdom that they live in. And they've been doing this for some immense amount of time, and there's lots of lore that I couldn't get into because I don't know it. But that's essentially their thing. They gallop across the night and they capture people, and their main plot in Witcher 3 is to like capture Ciri for some reason. Obviously, she's
so they're a
Witcher
press
blood
gang.
or whatever.
Well,
yeah. They're a press gang, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of times, though, they're trying to capture people of like great cosmic significance.
Yes,
too. Like Ciri's not just like a young girl.
No.
That they're just like, oh, we need a child. No, it's like she's a very special, like, you know, the lore isn't right, but like prophesized the golden child, right? Like it's different. Like, and so it's not like they're just like interdimensional people snatchers. I mean, they kind of are, but they're usually like interdimensional, like super people snatchers.
I just want to point out that Sam was supposed to do the Wild Hunt before he like guilted me into doing it. That was our discussion last Thursday.
And now I'm doing the Nazgul.
All right, now you're doing the Nazgul. Tell us about the
Nazgul. Yeah, the Nazgul, I mean, it's like the 9 humans that got rings from Sauron, and they were all obviously corrupted because that's how humans work. And then they turned into the ring race, aka the Nazgul. The main one is the Witch King of Agmar, right? I think that's right. And they got a whole bunch of stuff. They're practically immortal unless somebody stabs them in the back of the head. Maybe. A lot of times it says they just go away, and as long as the one ring still exists, they reappear at Mordor. Who knows? Sometimes they die, sometimes they don't. Thanks,
well, they definitely
Tolkien.
died. They definitely... The Witch King of Angmar fucking like vacuumed himself into like a little hole and blew up.
Yeah, but
he's
other
fucked.
ones have been stabbed, dissipated, and reappeared at Mordor.
Reappeared.
So
Yeah, should not count for the sake of this fight.
yeah. They have a bunch of weird stuff: necromancy, telekinesis. They're just in general like weaker versions of Sauron for a lot of purposes instead of his minions.
Yeah,
Really
Ability-
scary.
Yeah.
they're
They're
very
spooky.
scary.
They live in the witch realm, and they actually
realm.
don't see good. They have bad eyesight in real world. I know that much, but it doesn't matter because they like smell good and stuff.
They
and
see.
can
You
see.
mean if they see your soul, like in the?
Well,
kind of
they see
ethereal
your
plane?
shadow actually. And that's how they.
Their vision is
But-
based on movement.
Well, that's so
Yeah.
interesting because the Wild Hunt they battle at night, and even
Yeah.
have a shadow at night.
No, but actually,
No,
it
they
is.
see your shadow in their realm or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's
shut up.
actually the only time they're fucked is at high noon. They actually are way more dangerous. Their senses are heightened at night.
Gotcha.
Perception
Well,
of
the Wild
unseen
Hunt, as you
world.
know, hunt at high noon. So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do there? Just kidding.
Yeah, no, you already ruined it, but yeah.
Let's go. Let's talk about the Wild Hunt. So, okay, so their leader his name is Eredin, Break Glass. I'm sure that's horrible. I mean, it's Polish, right? So I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but that's how it's spelled roughly. And he's like a super old elven king, who's the leader of these guys. Super fucking badass. He just looks like Sauron. They have a lot of ice manipulation abilities, like they can shoot ice spells. They can shoot like explosive ice spells that will hit and blow you up. They themselves are immune to ice magic, and the cold. They can create spectral versions of themselves that are capable of fighting. And those spectral selves, they emit this like magnetic field that like causes insanity and or amnesia. It just fucks with your mind. They can fly.
Whoa.
And they can create storms. At least Eredin can create storms. These humongous ice storms that are absolutely fucking gigantic and can knock down like castle walls. Similar enemies to like the beings that
ice
Geralt has
storms
fought with
that
dragons.
like sink ships in no time.
Yeah. And there's other. I was looking up. There are other like beings like Jinn in The Witcher that can create like big thunderstorms when you're out in the middle of the ocean too.
Do they have problems if it gets hot? Because all their stuff's cold.
When
No,
it
they
gets
just
hot,
make it cold.
they actually
make
get
it
even
cold.
more powerful, and
Okay.
they get
That's a lie. I can
anti-Nazgul
see
weapons.
your
Oh,
lies.
okay.
They blow the Nazgul up. So yeah. I don't know, Sam. What's gonna be happening here? Seems like they're gonna wreck. Was that a defeat? Was that a?
I don't know. I don't.
What?
I don't know enough about the Nazguls. What do you want to know about the Nazguls? Let me try. Ask me questions, and I'm gonna try and
God
answer.
damn it!
Oh my
The onus
god!
is on
Ask
you.
me questions. I got it pretty good. What am I gonna tell you? If the Nazgul can fight Gandalf to a standstill, they got your boys done.
Okay.
right?
Look. So
Okay,
Gandalf.
So now you need
There you
to
go.
argue Gandalf versus the Wild Hunt. And then
Yeah, I
if
don't even think we need to do that. We know Gandalf wins.
And then if Gandalf wins,
Do we?
then
Yeah, he's like a Maiar and shit. He's like a big angel, bro.
First
Like,
off, they don't fight. First off, okay. Gandalf's powers in his like human form are not like his maximum Maiar form. Gandalf varies in strength throughout the series.
Yeah, and he was the gray when they fought him. It was on top.
Yeah.
It was like Weathertop or whatever. But they don't even want to fuck with him in the middle of the day. So then they like wait until it's nighttime and then they come after him.
Yeah. And then like what Aragorn, is able to beat them up. Aragorn by himself. Yeah, okay. Aragorn's impressive. He's a strong guy, but he's not like a host of fucking like elf lords with magical powers and shit.
He's really
I
hot,
also
though.
want to bring up some strength and power feat or some
Sorry, this is just too perfect because it
Yeah.
literally said their battle with Gandalf when Frodo and Strider. It is just to make out it's like lightning that leaps from the hilltop. So they literally compare it to a lightning storm. So
yeah.
they survived that.
I will say the Nazgul can likely just hang around the Wild Hunt for long enough until they get the Black Breath, which thanks again Tolkien for just like you're just going to a bad slumber, you sleep bad forever apparently if you're just around them long
I
enough.
think I have that.
Well,
Yeah.
if they're hanging around them, then that magnetic field that the Wild Hunt like passively emits is going to drive them insane and wipe their fucking brains and
their
I
hard
don't
drive.
think so, because they're
exactly.
they're already like corrupted and insane. So I don't really know if it affect him. Plus,
I
they're
don't think that
also
I don't think that
they're in the Wraith world, so I don't know if that magnetic field would do anything. And anyone with a strong will is like able to just chill in that. Like, I mean, it doesn't affect anyone with plot armor. So
First of all, the Nazgul do not have strong will. That's the whole reason they became the Nazgul, is because the wills of men are easily corrupted. And
yes,
but
that's why now they have the will of Sauron, which I would say is pretty strong-willed.
But Sauron isn't like they don't possess the will of Sauron. They are told what to do by Sauron. They don't get the benefit of being Sauron's underlings. They have their own like abilities.
No, they do, right, but they like radiate that like oppressive will, and like things around them like are constantly in fear, and like lesser beings are easily controlled.
Sure, but that's that doesn't mean that they're like immune. They would be immune to something that's specifically not even like a magical. I mean, it's obviously magical in nature, but it's given a scientific explanation like through magnetism. That it's causing this effect on their brains.
Do magnets make us crazy?
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That sounds like some conspiratorial 5G shit.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Do you know anything about the Wild Hunt's weapons? Because that's another thing. Like they say, like normal weapons of man like can't hurt the Nazgul, right? Like that's why you need like elvish magic weapons and shit to do anything to them.
Like a gun.
Well, yeah. I mean,
or just the
Blicky. The Wild Hunt are literally elves, and they do have like magic. Like the weapons in The Witcher are like magical in nature. Like they have like the silver swords and the steel swords that are good for killing specific enemies like that. I don't know specifically.
They do kind of have the same use of silver in The Witcher and in Lord of the Rings. It does have a very similar. It's like that is for killing ethereal things that possess multiple domains. Is why you use silver in The Witcher and Lord of the Rings. And to that extent, in The Witcher, it's not as if, for almost all cases, like iron and steel weapons can't hurt those things, but they're just far less effective. And I'm pretty sure the Wild Hunt they do not carry silver weapons.
Well, they're able to fight Geralt. I don't know what kind. I mean, look, like I'm looking at their weapons right now, and they look pretty fucking magical to me. There's also the ice effect.
I was gonna say, look, if I was an interdimensional traveling press gang looking for super powerful fucking people, I'm pretty sure I'd have some magical weapons with me.
I'm looking at canon art for them, and one of them is holding a sword that is just a fucking lightning bolt, and a humongous tornado is like spinning behind them. I think that their weapons are magical enough to be able to hurt the Nazgul.
Maybe.
I also want to add, you mentioned that like their battle was compared to lightning earlier, right? Which could be, metaphorical, could be artistic description. If you want to talk about lightning, Mike, could you bring up the image that I sent you? Eredin fought, I think it was Yennefer, and literally blocks a lightning bolt that she shoots at him. His sword was not like already in that position, or his sword was already in that. He swung it after she shot the lightning bolt. It's hard to show because I can't show a video, but he was able to literally deflect lightning. Geralt has also deflected lightning, specifically from Jinn, which are like control the weather. So it's like it's not just like random magic.
To that extent, though, so the Nazgul, they obviously avoid Gandalf's lightning, or else they would not.
Do they?
Well, I mean, they come away from the battle that looks like a goddamn lightning storm with them, so I assume they dodged.
Well, was Gandalf shooting lightning bolts at them and they dodged, or was that describing it like that, like a metaphorical? It's not like it isn't as specific a feat as he shoots a lightning bolt and he dodges. Just saying that like the battle was like a lightning storm. What? That's not a feat. That's an impressive, like a general thing. That's not like a speed feat.
I mean, there is lightning coming off the top of the mountain. To think that Gandalf was doing anything other than shooting lightning at the Nazgul, I think would be making a pretty weird conclusion.
It's entirely possible that they were hit by it and they tanked it and they didn't dodge it.
I just like everyone to know that I typed into Google, does Gandalf shoot L? And it auto completed lizards before lightning.
Yes,
He
well, he
should.
shoots lizards, and that's
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, not quite as powerful.
Yeah, let me go ahead and fill that in, see what happens. Mostly questions about dragons. That makes sense. Small lizards.
I also just want to talk about like raw. Like I want to bring up again, like in terms of raw magical power, Aridin was able to summon like a gigantic fucking ice storm. That would be in the like megatons of. We don't think of storms as being like super powerful, but when you're creating that much energy in the weather and like shifting clouds and causing like temperature changes across like humongous like areas of land and air, that is going to be like in the megatons of TNT. That's just, and that was more of like a passive thing of just them showing up. So I definitely think that their magical attacks are going to be like way stronger than whatever.
So it's interesting that so many of them revolve around ice. I've been ripping through the Nazgul this whole time, by the way, to try and help get some ammo. So
help me.
So the Witch King could control weather, and at his will could make frost or thaw. So any ice shit that's going to be coming at the Nazgul, they could literally just thaw. So that's interesting.
But they could just create more ice, right? Like it becomes a battle of like I'm thawing versus I'm shooting ice. And those ice storms are also like passive. They aren't like I need to put effort. I mean, there are some ice spells, right? But a lot of that is like a passive thing that they do. So
yeah, well, there's 9 Nazgul, and how many Wild Hunt members we got here?
There's 5 generals, I believe.
There's 5 generals, but they have like
the Wild Hunt does. Yeah, there's a lot of like sub boys and stuff.
Yeah,
so just like the Nazgul also have like a whole horde of wraiths.
Is the question we're asking like all of the Nazgul versus all of the Wild Hunt, or is it honestly, member versus member?
It probably boils down to the Witch King and the Polishman, who we can't pronounce.
Glassbreaker, or whatever his name was.
I think it's worth mentioning that like I think that a lot of the generals of the Wild Hunt are at the same level of Aridin. I mean, Aridin like is probably more powerful and more experienced, and he's like their leader.
They have
but they also
specific
all have their
strengths.
Own. Yeah, they have specific strengths as well.
Yeah, one of them is specifically about like teleportation magic and stuff.
Yeah,
like they have.
They can also
strengths.
Exactly. They can teleport.
Well, I will say one thing that does.
Frogget in the chat says, "Chad, come up with one of your transitions for HelloFresh."
Wow, look at that.
There it is.
Well, you can do that right now.
Yep.
No, he's already done it. That was it. That was his transition.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about HelloFresh. With HelloFresh,
long unnecessary pause for the transition.
You can't be taking over my ad read, Liam. You have to shush while I talk about the wonderful, wonderful HelloFresh. Because with HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store because going outside is lame. That is a Sam fact. You leave your house. Boring. Stay inside. Get HelloFresh. And count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's #1 meal kit in America. Anyways, crazy schedule can make it easy to fall back into your dinner time recipe rut. Keep a mealtime exciting with your over 40 recipes to choose from every week, so there's always something delicious to discover with HelloFresh. Even though the fall can feel jam-packed, HelloFresh makes whipping up home-cooked dinner actually doable with quick and easy options, including their 15-minute meals. That's less time than it takes to get delivery, and with everything pre-portioned and delivered right to your door every week, it's really a no-brainer. And that's true because I don't know if y'all have used any of the delivery apps recently. They kind of suck. And making something is often faster, easier, and healthier, which is why I cook all the time. You can share just a bunch of these recipes too with like, I think one of the best things is like having this stuff and like getting it because it teaches you how to cook, and then you kind of get a like, I don't know, show off to your better half. That's what's important to me, I guess, about cooking, is showing that I'm an acceptable mate in the world. Thanks. I know HelloFresh will love that.
I have value.
I mean, honestly, let's be real. Why do you want to know how to cook? That might be half of the equation, especially if you're a scumbag like me. Anyways, go to HelloFresh.com/50cast and use code 50cast for 50% off plus free shipping. Repeat it's free shipping. what do you want? And it's 50% off. I can't tell you how much money off that is because I can't remember what it costs, but it's quite a lot and it's a really good deal. And even if you just sign up for 1 month, just go do that and get 50% off. It's great. You get a bunch of food. You get a bunch of recipe cards that, I mean, I have a whole like binder full of recipe cards because you can cook them again. The rules don't say you can't cook them again. So
yeah, and it comes with a ratatouille hat that teaches you how to cook.
well, now we can't
make
promise
false
that,
claims.
Carrie. We can't make that, but
allegedly it does.
but it's great. I love me some HelloFresh.
Omni campaign.
Fantastic. Go check it out.
All right, before we get back to the debate, it's time to talk about what's going on. All right, and I'm gonna let Kerry do this one. Kerry, if you say the words, did you pick up on the asset we were rolling earlier, or the tournament we have going on?
Oh, I did. Yes.
Would you like to say it? It's fun. It's called the Tournament of Champions.
No! The Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions.
What's going on?
Yeah.
With
so
it?
we're running, you know, for everybody who's a member over on YouTube, thank you so much. And y'all know every week right now you're voting on the big bracket, which is the T of C. I'm gonna see if I can skirt around the rules with that.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah. You can vote on what matchup you want to see, and at the end of this whole bracket, that's a match we're gonna make for Death Battle next year. So y'all get to decide. This week has been a wild one, and I gotta say, I wasn't expecting. Do you all just want to take a guess? Because we're Kratos versus Asura, Homer Simpson versus Peter Griffin, Jimmy Neutron versus Dexter, and Naruto versus Monkey D. Luffy. Do you want to take a guess at who won?
Yeah, I also just looked at it.
I didn't, so I can take a wild stab. I feel like Luffy Naruto would have been the number one, but I'm just gonna say Kratos Asura because I know people have been asking for it for a long time.
You are both the most right and the most wrong.
And the most wrong, yeah.
Because Kratos Asura has won, but Luffy Naruto is the least preferred.
Okay.
I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised.
I was genuinely surprised by that. I thought it was gonna go Kratos Asura, Homer Peter, Luffy, then Jimmy Dexter. I didn't think Jimmy Dexter would have those kind of legs.
Because the quest for like the perfect Luffy matchup continues.
Yeah.
And for as many people that would be like, yeah, fuck yeah, this one, there'd be like 3 times.
Naruto's probably not the perfect matchup. That is fair.
It's so tough. I mean, I think
it's
it'd be
Gumby.
Great. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Gumby.
It needs to be Gumby.
Whereas like Dexter versus Jimmy is like a classic matchup. No one like is like, actually it should be Jimmy versus serial killer Dexter.
Stretch Armstrong had a comic, just saying.
But that brings us to what's the next 4? And for that, as always, we have a wonderful video made by our own DJ.
Thanks, DJ.
Mike, would you mind
on the chat?
playing?
His name is DJ.
There you go.
Here we go.
Whoa.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions. Vote for your favorite match out of these 4 to happen next year on Death Battle. All champions get a say. And if you're not a champion yet, well, what are you waiting for? Come on, click that join button below and throw your hat in the ring today.
Percy versus Zach.
Man.
Percy versus
I don't
Zach.
know a single thing about Percy Jackson, but I'm just voting for the Zagreus. Hades deserves its time in the sun for the rest of it.
Yeah.
I have to cast my vote for Mega Man X versus Optimus Prime. Are you kidding me? That'd be sick.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I
that's
feel
pretty
like that
cool,
one's
too.
gonna be a pretty big contender in this.
They all seem great. And this just to be clear, this is for the Tournament of Champions.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions.
Yes,
But-
Gary.
Yeah, it's for the Tournament of Champions.
Sometimes he's right.
Welcome to
Sometimes
the Tournament of Champions.
good times.
This will never get old.
We
I
also
know.
have.
We've been doing it for weeks.
We have a preview for the next fight, but I don't know if we should do that now.
Yeah, we can do it now.
Let's do it now.
Yeah,
I
show
wanna
them the
do it.
sneak
Okay.
peek for our next episode, and
Yeah.
then we'll show it again at the end.
I'm directing this one, so
I'm not
very
gonna make 'em
excited.
wait.
Cool.
You know how pissed off they would be if you brought that up, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Let's wait, Sam." No,
That's fair. Yeah.
let's go. Roll it.
Love this part. Could have been some flicks right about now. But gotta kill you instead. Can't just let a curse do as they please.
No talking during the movie.
I had a couple of like points I wanted to bring up about that. First of all, the main thrust. So DJ wrote this. I helped out with some of the writing as well, but DJ was the main writer for this one. And we really wanted to make Gojo just as obnoxious as possible. So we added him like spitting up popcorn onto the chair in front of him as he's talking.
Very
and
good.
I had this is Kelsey Jaffer as Makima, and a multiple death battle actor, multiple times. I can't even think of the words. Johnny is doing Gojo. So I was like, Johnny, can you just like be as obnoxious as possible into the microphone for a little bit? Can you like cough up on some of the popcorn that you're eating while you're trying to talk? Can you like slurp? He actually got like a thing that was like slurping it into the microphone. And that last shot was like one of the first like super hyped moments when we were looking at animation. Then they're talking during the movie. We're really excited to do this one.
That's so cool, but also like we literally ended that preview right. It's like an explosion, badass line, and like right as the anime music is kicking in, like, and then it's just like, in a few days.
I'm ready to watch it now. I'm excited.
The way the team is like getting they're getting so good at transitioning from pixel to hand drawn in those moments. Like 3 years ago, there used to be like a little bit of like, oh, we've changed styles, and now it's just like this smooth, like, okay, like it's just they're just so good at it now. Yeah. Really, the team is just always getting better.
Y'all know Kinjarex loves a preview. Every time we get a sneak peek, Kinjarex drops some subs. Thank you for the 20 gifted memberships.
Whoa, thank you. I also want you guys, when you watch it again at the end of the podcast, listen for Gojo in the sound review. There was a little sound added for Gojo's initial like eating of popcorn that is like, it's like one of the demons from Doom, from the first Doom. It's one of the funniest sounds that I love hearing when we do it. Yeah, you're gonna wanna listen to this episode with fucking headphones on and this volume turned up, especially at the end. You're gonna want that shit because it's gonna go absolutely
Dude,
nuts.
that no talking during the movie is gonna get memed so hard.
Absolutely, yeah. and Gojo doing this, he's falling down. Kerry, you mentioned you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, as I say, I'm excited for this because I love JJK and Chainsaw Man. I'm an anime watcher. I'm a filthy anime watcher. To be fair, I read the manga of JJK up to where the anime is.
Gotcha.
Because I needed more juice in between.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. This is a very good matchup.
Yeah. Who do you think wins? Just out of curiosity, if you don't know the results of the episode.
I do not know. I do not know. My vote would be on Gojo. But I also know that I don't know as much about Makima's power.
Gotcha. Right.
So
because you've only watched
hard,
the anime. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems hard to be Infinity, but who knows?
In fact, like
Gojo does this all the time, which is really cool.
He does that, which does this very specific thing.
Yeah.
It isn't just a little finger thing. It's,
but it is also a finger thing.
It is also a fun finger thing. Yeah. He does this and he pokes you and you go, ah. That's what he did to Jogo when they fought. He poked him in the one big eye.
And he's really good
like,
at
my one eye.
He combines colors really well, like red and blue and then purple.
And you get purple.
That's it. Very good at the color combining.
It looks really fun.
I hope you guys are excited for it. It's gonna be dope. Watch for any little Easter eggs. Watch for who is sitting in that theater when you go watch.
Don't give it all away. I know you're excited about the episode. They've got to wait. Coming out. They've got less than a week.
Yep.
Less than a week.
That's so soon.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get.
Yeah. Next Monday.
Yep. Yeah. Let's get back to community death battle.
Let's do it.
I just realized we haven't updated those assets in so long, but Hermione Granger versus Juggernaut.
They're just good.
They look great.
Yeah. Like, I don't feel like we need to update them.
I feel like
still
if anything, you
them.
should just sneak in Easter eggs in them, like change the silhouettes up.
Yeah,
Do
Yeah.
like really goofy things.
Perfect.
I think tracking down the original like project files at this point though, because they are like 6-7 years
No,
old.
Josie made 'em.
probably. Okay.
I'm sure she still has. Anyway, whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the Nazgul versus the Wild Hunt. Where were we?
We
think
were
we're-
just all talking about how the Nazgul are
Obviously,
just so much cooler and better.
Think about
and-
how Sam thinks that Galadriel is just eye candy. And not
Yeah,
one of the
no,
really important
no.
characters
For the
in
rest of
lore.
this.
I would say it is a failing of Tolkien's writing to not make Galadriel more impactful on the story.
You can't
Cast.
dig further.
So
No.
here's what I will say. Not I want to say in the defense of Sam because I don't know if I want to defend him, but I looked it up. The Lord of the Rings movies barely pass the Bechdel test, just barely.
Yeah, barely.
And it's
Yeah,
only
that makes sense.
because I think it's Arwen talks to, or no, it wasn't even her. Hang on. Eowyn confronts a child who wants her mother, so it's like not even really.
So, for those that don't know, the Bechdel test
is
is
really-
whether or not female characters talk about anything other than like other women or men, right?
I think it's just not
two
about
women
a
have a
man.
conversation that is not about a man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or men.
Yeah.
So in the entirety of the Lord of the Rings extended series of movies, the only scene where
fair-
two women don't talk about a man is when somebody talks to an extra.
Women talking about Frodo is like fairly on to the plot, though. That's a hard
Yeah.
one to like
Also-
ignore.
In God's name is
Yeah.
this? First off,
No, I'm just
Bechdel
saying,
test
like,
is meant to
it's-
be applied like over a wide swath of films in order to talk about a trend in filmmaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not as a criticism for an individual production.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of reasons that have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's hard to because, like, Frodo
No.
being a man is like a humongous part of the plot. So it's like, of course, a lot of the female characters are going to talk about the major plot device that is Frodo.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. Guys, I want
Yeah.
you. Okay, so Sam has said that Galadriel is no purpose in the story.
No. I say
Tolkien's
the
writing.
The character
He's criticizing
is
Tolkien's
horribly
writing,
underutilized.
and we're talking about the Bechdel test. Please,
It's
vote
just
for
one
me.
of those things. Yeah, it's just one of those things where,
Yeah, there you go.
like,
I feel inspired all of
know,
a sudden.
Gandalf. Yeah. Maybe I'm gonna go rewatch Lord of the Rings. Gandalf could have just got some eagles, right, and just flown to Mordor at the beginning. Like,
and
it's
he's
one of
doing
those
the
things.
fucking Eagles thing. Though
I literally, I know. I was like, I cannot believe the hole you're digging. You're bringing up the fucking Eagles
know.
debate. Oh,
I'm just I have a secret agenda to just really bomb this one, so we never have to talk about books again on
Sam,
Deathbed. Okay.
talk about. Do you know the scene about Aragorn and kicking the helmet? You want to talk about that? Do you want to talk
Oh,
about?
he hurt
Viggo
he
did?
hurt his toe, right? Go
broke
Viggo. Yeah.
He broke his
And
toe.
he bought the horse and kept it.
Oh,
Let's
I
just
didn't
keep
know that,
going.
actually.
See, Nubia's on. She got me. Yeah, I
Why
think.
don't why don't you just switch? Maybe that'll go better.
Okay, yeah,
no,
Yeah.
Liam.
I'll argue for the Nazgul.
Yeah,
this
Liam,
is-
what do you
I
got
can't
for the
tell if this is like a
Nazgul?
handicap.
I will
or
say,
not.
I am
I will
anarchy.
say, one thing that is probably actually of note is that the Witch King of Agnon does have fire manipulation, or he's seen to set his sword on fire on multiple occasions, which is a big thing against the Wild Hunt because they there's a reason Geralt and everybody typically uses fire to try and fend them off. Like it is, I don't want to say they're like
Use the fire to fend off
weak
the
to it
Nazgul.
or something.
See, Kerry.
but-
Yeah.
Okay, now Kerry picked up on that way earlier on. Remember, he's like, "How do they deal with heat? Because they seem very ice." And this is there. It go.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
was trying.
Sam thinks that Tolkien was sexist. So vote for Liam, the true Tolkien patriot.
I would
give me name
argue
votes.
that the bigger sexist statement is Sam saying that Galadriel only
It's
serves
just-
the purpose of inspiring people with their beauty.
No, you don't understand. Sam
Whoa.
hates that that's true.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you.
It's not true.
All I've said is that
She's like
she
a
should have had a
sexual
more
character.
significant part in the plot because it's stupid to have somebody at that kind of power
There was
level and
literally
then just
a
be like,
show.
they're just gonna
That's a-
hang out in the forest. Let's not talk about it, guys.
We just had a show about about all the stuff that she did in like I
Yeah,
think
but
it's the
that's
Second Age.
outside of the Lord of the Rings.
It is. You mean the movies themselves?
I
Yeah.
love
See,
this.
there you go.
I love
Yeah,
There's
this-
a lot.
This
There's a
thing
lot
they
that
made
shows.
like last year,
Yes.
40 years
It's
after
an
Tolkien
adaptation-
died. Yeah,
It's
sure.
an
Let's give him
adaptation
credit
of
for it.
Tolkien's material. It's
Right.
an adaptation of the lore that he wrote.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the book Tolkien and the person Tolkien. Like, I'm talking about it, okay? I'm just saying. He could have done some better things with these characters.
By voting for the Nazgul after this. Don't fucking betray me.
All right.
How
How are the Wild Hunt gonna hurt the Nazgul?
by killing them, by like cutting, like so. I
Okay.
think we've established that like Eredin's magic is much more powerful. Sam has brought up nothing that is even remotely comparable to like megatons worth of energy of like creating fucking storms.
Well,
I mean,
you could say-
they survived getting blasted by the river, right? Which was
The
enhanced with
Nazgul-
magic and shit.
Also,
Mhm.
Agmar
river?
does.
I know. It's the
Well, no. Okay.
Rivers are scary.
And in the movie, it had
Agmar-
horses and shit in it. Like,
Yeah, what if the Nazgul can't swim?
Here, okay, real talk though. Agmar does do the. He's the one who breaks open the gates of
Angmar.
Gondor.
Angmar.
Agmar,
The
okay,
Witch
whatever.
King of Angmar.
He's the guy who breaks open the gates of Gondor, which I will say is fairly significant.
well, yeah, but okay. So there's a battery.
yeah,
in
he
the
like
Witcher that
enchants
knocks
a
down
tree.
fucking
It's like
stone towers as well. The dragons that Geralt fights.
It's some vague Tolkien shit too, because it's like they had a battering ram, right? And it's like boom, boom, boom.
Chad
It's not
thinks Tolkien's
not
vague.
knocking anything down. But then the Witch King shows up and says the words of power, and
Yeah.
then it just the thing blows up
Yep.
the next time the battering ram hits it. So he has the ability to speak things more powerful, but on what scale? Who fucking knows?
And the Wild Hunt can fly too, right? Like, yeah, the Nazgul were stopped by a river.
Well, the Nazgul have
Nazgul
their
can fly.
they have their
They can
flying
just
beasts.
stay out of the
Yeah.
yeah, but they can just shoot them with fucking magic. They can just shoot them with magic ice. It's not
Well,
even gonna work.
it's hard to say because they also can be kind of in the Wraith realm, and I don't know if the
I think that they
Wild Hunt can do
occupy both
anything.
I think it's that they occupy both spaces, kind of like Guts' sword, right?
It-
Like they're still there physically. They're still in the physical realm.
If they die in the Wraith world, if they die in the real world, do they die in the Wraith
Die in
world?
real life, just like video games.
No, I
Yeah.
assume that's when they go back to Mordor.
Mordor, so they can
is what it is.
respawn.
They need to be killed
Yeah,
in both.
But that wouldn't
Um,
constitute for a death battle. They would.
That's true.
If
I
they
will
died
say-
and had to come back. They
Right.
He does have.
There can't be a
his-
pause in a death battle where they come back from somewhere else
No.
after
If it
being
was-
reborn.
If
No.
it's
It took, like, a
instant, it's
minute or
okay.
something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we talked about that with Bowser Ganon because technically
yeah.
Ganon always comes back, so it would just be like one of those things where it stops and it's like 7 generations later. It's just a new Ganon born. But
Yeah, or like
yeah,
over.
M. Bison in Street Fighter, he has a contingency plan and a network of satellites that every time he dies, his soul is uploaded to the satellite and beamed down into a new body.
the Psycho Drive. Right?
Yep.
That's what that's called. Yeah, but then that body would have to like go and find whoever's
Yeah.
fighting him, and that.
yeah.
But if you're
I will
like,
say,
We
though,
have fun here.
one sneak attack though, because they specifically the Witch King does have the very poisony blade that turns
Okay.
you into a wraith.
If
Mhm.
here's the deal. If the Nazgul stab any of the Wild Hunt, they are going to die. The problem is sometimes it takes a really, really long time.
yeah,
Because it's like Boromir got stabbed, and then it was like, and he was sick, real sick, and it took him like 12 years to die.
yeah, and they can still be killed by stabbing like normally. Like it's not like stabbing is like an extra advantage that the Nazgul have. Stabbing would work regardless, and it would work on them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like poison is too slow moving to act as any kind of advantage.
Yeah, and the reason it went
Mhm.
faster on Frodo was because there was a shard left in him. So, like a shard broke off.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably knew that.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
All
Information.
right, cool. We got to get to the voting because it's going crazy. Give me. I'm gonna put the vote up right now. You guys, if you have any like last things you want to say, Sam, other than
betray me.
poisony blade.
Don't validate this behavior that you've seen on cast today.
You're one to talk here, Leo.
Calendar man in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chat was like, "Yeah, but how much does Alfred make?"
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys remember in Lord of the Rings when Frodo gets healed and he sees Gandalf and like the room's really bright and he just goes, Gandalf. I love that part.
Yeah.
Gandalf.
Yeah, everything's in slow
Love the
motion.
scene
And he
yeah,
doesn't
like
say what's his face. He doesn't say Legolas's name.
yeah, he doesn't know it.
No.
No, Legolas.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
he
there's
says,
that
and he
whole
mouths
theory.
everybody's name in slow motion, and he's just like, for Legolas.
Wasn't there also a theory where it's like
Classic.
Legolas's name was it never actually said like in front of him or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, he was too awkward to ask. So he's just like,
Yeah,
I'll, I'll just call him Hey.
Hey,
from now on.
buddy.
That's
Yeah, like-
the
Yeah.
most relatable thing Frodo's ever done.
Yeah.
Like,
Just no one introduced him. He's like,
Well, I think
Yeah,
hobbits
well,
are very relatable in every aspect of their
Yeah,
lives.
that's
I
true.
fucking second breakfast, bring it on, baby.
Yeah, what a mediocre like eating schedule when you need to go to Mordor quickly though. When
Yeah,
you're
terrible.
like, you have to stop 7 times a day to eat. It's
important, though.
yeah.
Well, not
If
if
you
you have
read
not
the
if you have
books-
Lembas. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Really quick, let's bring up the community answers to see what y'all had to say. First up is Jay Station, maybe? Stallion? It's really hard to tell
Yeah.
because it's really blurry on my end. All right. I would have to give this to the Nazgul. The Wild Hunt are powerful in their own right, being experts in combat and swordsmanship. The Nazgul, on the other hand, have an ability called the Black Breath, which can be toxic to anyone that goes near them. Also, the Nazgul become more powerful as Sauron's strength grew, thus potentially making it hard for the latter to strike down the former. All in all, I'd say the Nazgul would go on to make the Wild Hunted. Love it when they include a pun. Great job.
Y'all should have put this at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I did mention the Black
You did.
Breath, but yeah.
Yeah. But how long does that take?
I'm sure there's instances of it being almost immediate and other instances
I
of
would
it
love that,
being
wouldn't you?
yeah,
So
I
great if
would.
it happened immediately.
All right, let's see what the other
Well,
one
no,
says.
because there's gonna be other ones. Like clearly, it doesn't happen to Pippin and shit.
Lord of DD24 says the Wild Hunt as a concept in history includes Solomon and Odin. Even if you're just focusing on the Wild Hunt from the Witcher series, they have an insane amount of magic and knowledge of portals between realms. Plus, unlike the Nine Riders, they're not merely subjugated under the total control of Sauron, but strong warriors capable of independent action. The Wild Hunt rides over the Nine. Ooh, that's great. We got two good endings there.
Yeah, baby. Give me a reason to finally like really play through The Witcher 3. I did like the first like I guess third of it where you like that first big area and then you meet like with the Emir and then you go into that second and I play games for like about 2 weeks and then I'll move on just naturally. So I never beat it past that. So guys, give me a reason to beat Witcher 3. Vote for
Because it's a good game,
the
and you
Wild
should.
Hunt.
That's
They
that's
made a
reason enough.
Hobbit game for the Game Boy Advance. Maybe we could play that and learn more
It's
about
like-
the Nazgul.
There you go.
that. I remember seeing that GameCube one in Blockbuster when I
Mhm.
was a kid.
Yeah.
Never touched it, but I've
No.
heard it was mediocre.
It sucks because I would say that the Lord of the Rings actually had a history of pretty strong like action brawler games
Yeah.
in the
I
like
heard.
PS2
The PS2 era?
generation.
Yeah.
The Two Towers ones especially
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
the jam.
Remember the Return of the
And
King
then,
was
yeah.
really popular.
Yeah, they made like all 3 of the movie tie-in games like were pretty strong, and then they made a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, well, they also had like an MMO for a little bit. Right?
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's like it's
We're at time, so I'm
One
gonna
of them
wrap
was.
this up. Let's see how y'all voted beforehand in the community poll. Damn.
Disgusting.
Dang.
wow, the Nazgul.
Wow.
Dang.
All right.
So really, if it's any different, it's just a sign of what happened during this conversation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
See how much I swung them.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Nazgul's got 1 vote. Kerry, it's up to you for this next one. How are you feeling?
Oof. It's just hard for me without knowing more about the Wild Hunt to think that not go for the Nazgul. They're just spooky, and I like
They
Lord
are
of the Rings better
spooky.
than The Witcher.
Okay.
That's the real
Gary.
answer. I think that was the real
I'm giving an honest, it comes from my heart,
Yeah.
not my brain.
You're
And
allowed to
I'm
vote
gonna
any
say
way
it.
you want to.
Yeah, I'm saying it. I actually voted in the poll too. Is that allowed? I did it. So I got
Yeah.
2 votes really.
I don't know. You've never
Nice.
had that happen before. All right. So, Kerry. So then we got 2 for the Nazgul. Man. I shamelessly want to vote for the Nazgul. Because
Is Galadriel just eye candy, Chad?
Mm.
That's
Does
not
it
part of
matter
this
that the
vote.
Lord of the
I-
Rings only barely passes the Bechdel test?
I
Is that a
don't- I don't-
conversation
What
worth
we said
existing?
right before we went live was me go. I told Sam like you just casually name dropped one of the most powerful Lord of the Rings characters and said she does nothing.
A vote for Nazgul does not mean a vote for that bullshit.
Well,
The vote
also,
for Nazgul is not
my problem is not that. I'm not saying that she's weaker. I'm just saying it's stupid that she does nothing.
I was going to point out that I brought up like feats. I brought up the lightning timing feat.
I
brought up
know
the storm
Sam also
feat.
got totally screwed, but it's fine. You know what? I'll just shamble this onto either the chat or Mike if they tie. So I'm gonna say the Wild Hunt.
Thank you.
Okay, well then let's look at the
All right.
chat poll.
I'm gonna end the poll.
You end
All right.
it.
Did y'all do this on purpose? Sorry.
69.
Yes.
Yes, it is
The Nazgul
69.
is winning with 69% versus the Wild Hunt.
Nice.
So there you have it.
11%.
Nazgul wins.
Suck it, Liam.
My efforts plus this absolute fucking like heresy that
Once
you've been
again,
spouting.
I'm
for
not
Tolkien
happy
heresy.
that she doesn't have more of a role.
This is what you voted for. This is what you get. This is what you get. This is what you get.
Somebody that wishes Gladriel played a bigger part in the Lord of the Rings
This is what you
story.
get. This is what
It's
you get.
so funny how
How
this
is that?
narrative
How
has
is that
we've
bad?
shifted.
This is what you get.
Fucking
Only
Liam's
you've
over here
emboldened
like,
him.
we don't need women in Lord of the Rings doing stuff that's important.
Oh,
what are you
God.
talking about,
I
dude?
swear to Christ, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Tournament of
It's
Champions!
insane.
Welcome to the Tournament of Champions!
So much for the episode. We'll see you in the next one. Stick around for after the credits. We're gonna play the sneak peek again and catch all the stuff
We
that
have a
Liam
lot
said.
to fucking
Thanks
talk about
for
this time.
thanks for being on, Kerry. Go watch Simple Walk 2. Roosterteeth.com.
Happy
Go, go,
anytime.
go.
Thanks, y'all.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Love this part. Could have been some flicks right about now. But gotta kill you instead. Can't just let a curse do as they please.
No talking during the movie.